Hey YouTube, this is React City. I'm James.
I'm Rose.
Nikki.
And this is Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever review. So, well, I just said review, but as usual, we are not doing standard reviews. We're kind of giving our feelings on this. We're going to discuss the topic. And first, before we go into the spoiler section, where we're going to detail, we're each going to kind of give our overall feelings of the movie and let you know what we thought about it, if you guys just want to go ahead and see it without the spoilers. Mm-hmm. So we're going to start about that. What are you guys' general feelings on this movie?
Thumbs up. Really good.
Thumbs up. It was good.
I thought it was the way they pulled everything off like that they said they were going to do. At first, it was like, no way that they were going to make that work well, like a new Black Panther. I mean, it was out there that that's what they were going to do, right? Mm-hmm. And when I heard that, I was like, I'm not going to watch this. I can't handle it. And it's like, no, I have to watch it. Mm-hmm. And I'm very happy I did. Conflict, everything. Thumbs up.
Yeah, that was good. And I did not see like the villain that we were fighting being the villain that we're fighting. I'm like,
no.
Is this happening?
Yes. That was a very interesting. Yeah. Did not expect that.
It's better at all.
No.
Yeah, I mean, and we don't usually watch like trailers or anything like that, but you know, information gets out there. Mm-hmm. So when that came up, I was like, "What the hell?"
Like,
Yeah.
Very excited.
I was glad to be surprised. Yeah. This is another thumbs up for not watching the trailer. Just like know that the show is coming. It's like, hey, I'll watch it.
Don't watch trailers.
Don't watch the trailer.
Join us.
Join us.
Come play with us.
And the villain was, I mean, we're not really saying who he is, building up for spoilers, but he was very intimidating and scary when he first is introduced.
Yeah.
And the conflicts that go on. I've said in previous reviews and on other shows that I personally was not a fan of them not choosing to recast Black Panther, just because I'm a big fan of T'Challa as Black Panther, and so I wanted to see that character go forward, even though Chadwick was very good as that character. But with what they did, I'm satisfied with it.
Yeah,
like
same.
It wasn't, not everything was passed on the way that you would in your head think they would.
Yeah. And
we can go into details in that in the spoiler section for why personally I'm satisfied with it, so I think we all left it satisfied.
Yeah, I think that's probably what they didn't like just make a copycat of okay, we lost this guy, let's just do a new Black Panther exactly the same. No, it was like a new story. Great, it was really well done. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, a part of me still is sad that T'Challa can't get his story told.
Yeah.
But with what they did, and again, we'll go into details on that. Yeah.
And more on that too. Their homage to him, the way they introduced him. There was like a moment of silence almost. When he came in. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. It was great. And then at the end, of course. You know, nice little dedication.
And this isn't a spoiler for the movie, but the Marvel, when the Marvel logo comes in and you see all the cinematics of all the movies, it was all Chadwick, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it almost made me worried, because I was wondering if the whole movie was going to be
about that.
Very solemn and grieving, and there is a lot of grieving in this movie, but it didn't feel like it stuck around too much, and it kept that forward momentum.
It didn't overstay its welcome,
But speaking of overstaying our welcome, with the non-spoiler reaction part of this, what did you guys think overall? I guess you can't give a grade, but like, would this be a movie that you say go out and see?
For sure.
Under circumstances.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Even if you're not like a hardcore fan, you can see it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it did well for anyone who loved Black Panther, the first one. I think this will meet your expectations, I think, or hopes. You know, even if you're like, I'll never watch Black Panther without Chadwick. You know, I think you could watch this one. You will be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
It will give you catharsis, I think.
Yeah. You know? And I can agree with that, especially as someone who's mostly checked out of the Marvel Universe after Endgame.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
I'm in it to see Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and Black Panther. And none of that's happened. Yeah. Like I was prepared to go into this movie and be like, all right, goodbye to the series for Black Panther. Yeah. But after seeing that, it's like, all right, I kind of see where you go with this.
Yeah.
Like I'm not oh, I can't wait to see the next one. No. But I want to see what they do.
Yeah, you know? I feel the same. I feel the same. I can feel the storm brewing, which we'll talk about in the spoiler section, and something they didn't address at the very end there. I was surprised. So I can see where there's so many ways this is gonna go, and it just looks like more chaos. Let's just say that.
But yeah, so this is going to be a little title screen up there to warn you guys about spoilers incoming. But yes, we will be going through what we remember of the show and talking about our favorite scenes and what we liked and what maybe we didn't like. Yeah. So stick around if you like that. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Hey guys, and this is the spoiler section, so we're just going to start from the top and kind of work our way through the movie. We're probably going to miss a couple things. Hey, we're not professional movie critics or anything like that. We talk about what we like. So starting off, what do you guys have?
I just want to say, disclaimer, we were writing in the dark. These guys did fabulously. I repeated my terrible mistakes, and
You wrote over.
I wrote over myself
several lines
many times. So I'm gonna depend on your notes for most of the beginning part. Yeah. So the start, they just go straight into it. Straight into the everybody's flailing. Like, what do we do? What do we do? Yeah. That was great.
Yeah.
We didn't have wait. We didn't have flashbacks of good things and then go into it. No.
We just addressed it straight away. He's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we start the morning.
Yeah, and the morning doesn't really stop. Like, yeah, we have periods of happiness in this movie, but there is a sense of loss through the whole entire movie.
Like we're working through it. The movie is working through it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're working through our feelings. Even the audience, like, you can feel for Shuri. The pain that she has, and even I was very happy that the way she turned into just wanting for vengeance, like how it got so violent when she got to that point, but I didn't feel like it was forced. Did you?
I'm glad that she did that.
Yeah,
but
I feel like it was like needed.
We went to the World Senate talking about, hey, you guys got vibranium. We really want access to this. It can change the world, and you're not sharing it like you said you would. And I was actually for a moment, that's some interesting points there. And then it just cut to mercenaries.
Yes, breaking in,
bro.
Oh my gosh.
And then the I don't remember her name either. The mother was just straight up like, "You guys are the problem.
Yeah,
it's not us. It's you. In fact, here's your problem walking in the doors right now."
Yeah.
It was like, oh wow.
I love that show of power.
Yeah.
That was great.
And also the example of guys, it's gonna be bad if you guys get it. And the whole world was literally the whole world powers were there to see that it's gonna be all out war if somebody gets the vibranium.
And it's very obvious. I have this feeling in whenever these things happen in movies where America and the higher world powers are all like, we know what to do, give us the thing.
Yeah.
You know? And that just grates again. It's like, get him queen, get him, you know? And it continues throughout the rest of the movie. Even after that, it's like, no, they're not stopped. They're like, no, we've got to fight them.
Yeah. And I was actually a little bit concerned of her wording. It's like, listen, if you keep doing this, we're going to consider it an act of aggression. And I was wondering, like the Wakanda, yes, they are stronger than everybody else, but they're very isolationist. And everyone else kind of wants an excuse
to get in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can give them that excuse by not playing the shadow game that they're playing. Like, they're hiring mercenaries, so they have plausible deniability, right? If you outright just attack them because of this, now it's a war, now they can get away with doing all this other crappy stuff, you know?
That's true.
So, which is what I think towards the end of the movie, he was thinking exactly what's going to happen.
For that part, I didn't even realize I wrote that Peep's mad because vibranium.
Oh, yeah.
for the Meeting of Nations thing. And also, France tried it. They did.
Yeah.
And then I think the next thing was the entrance of the Atlantean. I have to say, I loved their introduction on the big ship. That one. Not when he met with... When was that? That was after, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so the big ship scene, that whole thing, was very intimidating. I just felt overwhelmed with oh no, dread.
Yeah.
There's no escape.
Ocean dread.
The ocean terrifies me already. Yeah. And then there's things coming out of the ocean.
Yeah. And the song that just makes people walk off is weird. What the hell's happening?
Immediately I saw them come up and I was like, sirens? That doesn't make sense.
Yes.
This is Marvel.
Yes.
What?
I was like, wait,
I would
mermaids?
expect that from DC, but Marvel?
I was like, mermaids? That's what I wrote. Where did I write it? Somewhere
Probably
near.
underneath
Somewhere there.
the-
Oh, there it is. I found it.
Oh,
Mermaids.
incredible!
Yes, I wrote mermaids.
There's
Question mark?
exclamation points and everything.
Namor the Submariner is a comic book character.
The Submariner.
Namor the Submariner.
Okay.
Like, I don't know where they got the word from. It's probably real.
You know, like a mariner, but he's submariner.
Yeah, but you can't just put two things together and act like it's a real word. but either way, it's a comic character. I don't personally know a lot about him. I just know that he sat on the Illuminati in the comic books where we saw the Illuminati in the Doctor Strange movie. But he was absent from there. So I'm curious to see where they go with him. I was very worried that they would kill him a few times here. I'm very glad they didn't, because I'm like, this character is pretty cool and intimidating. Don't get rid of him. It's hard to stick the landing with characters like this like they did.
And they did
Keep him
really
around.
well.
Yeah.
Intimidating.
It's weird because I'm like, I should hate him.
Yeah.
I should despise this man.
Yeah.
And yet,
Yeah.
he's just so cool.
Actually, at first I was agreeing with him, because it's like the Wakandans did just show up and say, hey, vibranium is a thing. And
yeah, basically put everyone else at risk.
everyone else was at risk. Now they're searching for it. And because of that, they found them. You know? But it's his actions afterwards, of course, you can disagree with.
Yeah. I'm like thinking about their justification for like all out war with the whole surface world, but I'm like, I understand the reasoning, but like you took it like what?
Yeah.
You leaped
It was
over.
a leap of logic.
Yeah, because it's like they found this thing that we've been have good experience with for thousands of however many years. Let's just kill them all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I the way I see it, it actually is logical to me, his mental state, because he is literally a broken person. Mm-hmm. He lost his mother. He goes to bury her in her homeland and finds people being enslaved by whatever used to be what she longed for, and he's just turned off by it. He's like, okay, screw all of you. I'm just gonna take care of these people down here, and he goes feral, basically, but he still has care in his heart. Like, he does want to take, like, he cares for these people. Like, when the girl was dying, he was like, rest in peace,
Yeah.
So he does have feelings, but his ruthlessness is very, I don't know, one directional. So he's like, and I think it's also very fear based, because he's afraid, like, if he doesn't take the offensive, it will be devastating for what he has saved, what he has protected, and what he wants to keep safe for forever.
And I can see, and I can agree with that, except he lost his mom, and that whole issue happened like hundreds of years ago.
And he's still...
Just now he decides to take the offensive because they bumped into him under the water. Like, I know he probably sees his lair as, this is our sanctuary of peace that we had to carve out and steal away from everyone else. It just, to me, I know his name is literally without love, right? So he's very cold in that regard to the outsiders, the other world. But, I mean, it's not targeted at anybody, just all surface dwellers and stuff like that. It seems broad to me. But I can understand why, given he was born under the water, he has no innate love for the land. Which is why they're pointing out that his mom wanted to go back. Nobody else wanted to go back. But, yeah.
I was holding out hope that... I shipped them immediately, like him and Shuri. Yeah,
I was
like, please, but I didn't want it to happen because it would have. It would have ruined him, right?
Part
too
of
fast.
That, yeah,
too fast. Yeah,
it would be like, okay, we're going into Disney movies.
Yes,
that's exactly what I thought.
I shipped them, but in my heart, and I was like, I'll keep it there and lock it away because I don't want it to actually happen.
I was kind of hoping. I was like, please let this be like no more than just the start of something.
Yes,
like this be as far as we get for the rest of the movie, and then maybe next movie they're friends. Yeah, like I want it to be like slow going,
like real
because
slow.
Like his name is literally without love. I'm like, we need some barriers to break here.
Yeah, but yeah. So I was definitely of that mind. But but that reasoning, I still kind of was like holding out hope for him. So like at the very end, not to jump too far. But I'm jumping. That scene where when he does yield, he sees his mother. So it's like, oh, is he really, experiencing change of heart? And I was like, it's a bit sudden, but okay, I'll take it. And then
Yeah.
we see the end scene. I was like, okay, and we'll get to that point.
Yeah, in a way, he was like frozen in grief himself.
Yeah.
And if he rejected her offer, he's rejecting his mom because his mom wanted to live on the surface world. So he'd be dashing her dreams. Kind of like Shuri was going to be dashing her own mother's dreams by killing him. The disrespect of Namor to just show up uninvited and threaten them.
Yeah.
I don't understand his logic with that. Like, again, I understand where he's coming from, but he doesn't come across as a great diplomat when he's dealing with other sovereigns in this manner.
No.
I keep trying to think of it, and the only thing I can come up with is that he has literally had this one whole world. He's literally been like basically the king of his universe.
Yes.
The god of his
Since
universe.
birth.
They worship him.
God, the
Yeah.
god of, yeah.
Yeah. So he comes up to the surface to
He's
people he
God.
doesn't like. He has no diplomatic skills
Or
to
care
begin
to
with.
try.
Exactly. Like he has nothing going for him right now.
Yeah.
He's just like, gimme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll count
Like
to
a
3.
spoiled child.
Literally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How do you like his design?
I liked him. I liked the actor they chose.
Yeah.
I liked the lighting they used, especially they did it with him and with Shuri when they were in a dark state of mind.
Yeah.
I love when they make them have like dark shadow, like just barely see their eyelids and the glint of their eye. I really like that they did that with him, like almost all the scenes. He was always like that.
He's like always like just ready to slice someone's throat out.
Yes.
He's telling Suri like this story.
And
He's
you
like,
don't
I want you
trust
to
him.
understand, but I'm a shank you if I need to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically, you knew you couldn't trust him no matter how soft he spoke and how much he entreated. It's like, I can't trust you.
So we got Namor's design. I loved his little wings on his legs. It didn't make any sense, but
I
liked
hated it.
Really? I hated it.
I'm like, I know this probably makes sense lore-wise and like with character from the comic, but I'm like, Wakanda is like, in my head, like each movie has its own vibe.
Yeah.
Wakanda was like a Earth but enhanced vibe.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it's like they're literally bringing like
Magic.
Thor and like Hermes into like the mythology, and I'm like, why does this feel weird? It's just like it's not there. And then even when they explained like he was born that way because of the flower, I'm like, this still it doesn't track for me.
Well, do you think it's the design of the wings
on
being
the
on
feet.
the feet that threw everything off? Like if it was something else, like the ears only, and maybe how could he fly otherwise? Like to be, it doesn't
Maybe
make sense
he
that
has
he
like
could fly,
vibranium bones, or I'm like, this flower will make us breathe underwater. Here you can fly.
though. Yeah,
It's like
I understand the morphing of, or the combination of surface and underwater.
Yeah.
But the wings are just out of
Left
nowhere.
field.
Yeah. I like that the way they had him. I think they just put the wings on him just so they could do that scene where he was zipping around.
I think a part of it is when he said, I'm a mutant. I think
Yeah.
that might have been like X-Men mutant series.
I remember that did quell it for a while, and then I completely forgot about that. Oh, maybe he's like actually because
An
mutants are
actual
Marvel.
mutant.
Mutants are Marvel.
Mutants
They
are Marvel.
weren't they talking about trying to combine
They've
some
been trying
universes?
to.
He's like basically Storm, but for Atlanteans right now.
Yeah. Because Storm is also literally worshipped by her home tribe.
Yeah,
Oh.
she's a god to them.
They don't know anything about correcting these people. They're like, sure, I'll take
It's
it.
like sure, like she's with Professor at like the crib, and then she just when she goes home, she's like, yeah, I'm God now.
Okay.
I see no moral ethical dilemma at all. But yeah, I mean, the reason I liked the wings was just because how weird it looked. It looked out of place, and him zipping around like that, it all came together to make a very scary character to me. We also got the introduction of Riri Williams.
Yeah.
Riri
Yeah.
Williams.
So you guys know her from comics or no?
No.
I am aware of her character, not her, like Riri. I just know that there was a second Iron Man, and she was a girl. That's all I know.
And
they-
she was hated
Oh.
by the community.
Okay.
I personally didn't like Riri a lot, but when I heard that they're just scientists, and then we came to the school and it's a young girl, I was like, is it? And then when they looked up and like, did you build that yourself? Oh my gosh, it's Ironheart. But this is the most I've liked her so far.
Yeah.
She was interesting, but also weirdly enough, I felt like she was really a backseat in this show. Like they wanted to introduce this character, but didn't know how because she didn't. She came across as like the funny guy in a buddy cop comedy who's there but not really front and center. But she's powerful, but really didn't do a whole lot.
What I kept waiting for when they were saying like, oh, it's a college kid. I was waiting for that kid that Tony saved, like way in one of the, I think it was like Iron Man 2 or 3. 2? That kid out in the boonies that he kind of semi-mentored for a little bit. And then I was waiting for that reintroduction because I'm like, where is this kid? Where is he?
I don't remember.
We don't know where he is. And then I was
I remember now. The little kid.
Yeah, the blonde kid.
He was at the funeral.
Yes.
Barely glimpsed him.
I didn't see him at the funeral.
Yeah.
He was grown up.
He was like
grown.
grown.
Yeah, that's why I didn't recognize him. Aww.
I've also been kind of wondering if they'll pick that up, but now with the introduction of Ironhearts, they probably want to focus on that. So they're probably just going to go down her route. But I do hope they bring him up again, just because he was at one point hinted at having some aptitude for the Iron Man kind of way of things. So.
Yeah, and he was child genius, basically.
Yeah, he built the whole place himself, like a garage. Similar situation to Riri. Yeah. But yeah, did you like her outfit? I mean, not outfit, her suit.
No.
The Iron Man Ironheart. You didn't like it?
I don't like the new suits for the Warriors either.
Oh yeah.
It felt very.
I hated them.
What is it? Predator. Alien versus Predator.
No, they felt like carnival outfits to me.
A little bit of that too. It's like it didn't match the. It didn't feel.
The aesthetic.
Yeah.
It didn't fit Wakanda's style. And I understand that's why the general hated it, maybe. One of the reasons.
She was like, every time I come in, that looks uglier.
Yeah, and I was like, I agree.
You're right.
I was waiting for it to get cool. Like, the first time it was introduced, I just thought it was so gaudy. And I was like, oh, she'll improve on that, right? No. No, she doesn't.
Yeah, I think... I thought they were going for like a very... You know, like the tribal masks that are supposed to be like images of animals. Ever seen those? Or like big eyes stuff. I thought they were going down that route, but it just didn't work to me. I mean, it was different.
Yeah.
It's certainly unique.
Yeah.
It's interesting, but it's just not the... Considering they're all very sleek, uniformed otherwise, and their bodyguard outfit didn't fit them very much.
No. I wish, like, I loved, I forgot her name already. Shuri's Black Panther, like, adjustment.
Yeah.
It barely looked like an adjustment to me.
No, it just color wise, and she's skinny. You know, I felt like the head was a little big, but I liked her change it. It was just a little enough of a tweak, you know. And I think the new outfits could have just been like sleeked down, maybe some more darker blues, or maybe more pastel even, like, because even if you want to be different, that was just so vibrant. And I thought it was trying to be, I thought it was going to be like water suits, but it was just to fly.
It's just
And super strength.
And super strength, yeah. But I was thinking, wait, great, you got some water suits, you can fight these guys too, right? Did they go in the water?
I don't think so.
I don't think
they probably can.
Riri went in the water and saved someone.
When I saw she did that, I was like, just that one person?
Yeah. I was like, are you going for more?
Like there were more in there.
There were more.
Nah, you in particular. I choose you to survive.
Let's go, sis. Let's screw the rest. Come on.
But yeah, I wish they had done better with the outfits. Hopefully, in the future episodes, future movies, the outfits will get better. Like they'll get some feedback. Just Marvel.
Yeah, but the fights that we got as well. What did you think of the choreography overall? Like, I think the final fight was like a step above everything else that we saw. But overall, the choreography, how do you feel about it in this movie?
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't have any problem with anything. I loved all of the scenes. I didn't feel like anything was too cut up. Except maybe the flying with Namor. Some of it was a little hard to follow. Like I was trying to like figure out what he was doing, like especially when he landed on the ships. Like was he just using it as leverage? Was he cutting it? Some of them he was cutting, and some of them he was. I couldn't quite follow it too much. So that was a little off-putting. But for the most part, I liked all the fights.
Yeah, it was funny enough. I did have a bit of an issue with the cutting. Like I felt like whenever the fights got started, it seems like all right, let's get into it, and then it'd cut away, and we almost get like a reset. Does that make sense? Like the two begin the fight, someone gets pushed back, cut. All right, they begin the fight, it reset. That's how it felt to me, especially towards the end with the Namor fight. Namor's fight seemed like it was potentially very good, but I wasn't getting like a good viewing angle of it. I wanted like a longer form fight, and I think part of that is just getting spoiled by watching the animes that we do, seeing very long form combat scenes.
Yeah.
But I thought it was good. I just wish I saw more of it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's funny. The last fight, you say it was like higher up, better, one of the better fights. I don't remember it.
I'm primarily talking about like the hand to hand.
Yeah, I don't remember it at all.
Yeah, but it felt like, I don't know, like the two clash, they do a combination, and you really got the feeling that Namor was the warrior here. Whereas Shuri, even though she's got enhanced speed and skills, she's not used to hand.
I enjoyed that part though.
Yeah, I liked it, but it would clash,
It would
cut away, or get an angle where you can't get a full view of what's happening. And it was frustrating because I felt like it was good, but I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it.
But then they kept cutting to I don't remember
all of the others.
Other warrior girl and other warrior guy fighting, and then Riri and dealing with the other girl in the sky. I'm like, these are not important fights.
I was feeling the same way. As like, is something bad about to happen? Like, is everybody gonna blow up?
Yeah, I mean, warrior versus warrior would have been cool. Was cool to see. Riri, I'm like, why is she? Why are we seeing this right now?
Yeah, poor Riri.
Especially because all of their fights individually were not very good in terms of choreography. Especially, like, you never got to see them really get into the motions, and you just be jumping between each of them. So because of that, you got one really good fight over here, and then 3 okay fights that you're getting pieces of, and as a result, the sum is not
everything.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the first fight. The first fight between the general and the blue guy on the bridge. The very first one.
Oh,
that was a good
very
fight.
interesting.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that they kept that running feud through the whole thing, and if they finally got to fight at the end. Although I don't remember seeing the end of that fight.
She kicked him off.
Oh yeah.
And then they paralleled Riri and her kicking the person off. I'm like,
they both.
That's a cool parallel.
They're all alive.
But I don't get why it's relevant.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because like, go with your ancestors. Shows off building. But he's like, he's all right.
Yeah.
He's just
far
returning
now.
him home.
He's just far now.
Yeah.
They just come back again.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, so the queen, before she died, she gave a very, very good performance.
Yes.
Oh my
You
gosh.
could feel her rage, and
I
even though
loved her
I was offended for the general at first, but I was like, she makes a strong point for her grief here.
Yeah.
Just let her have it.
Like, who's lost more here?
It's like, I gave everything. She's like, I am the queen of the most powerful nation on the planet, and I lost everybody. Get out.
Yeah.
Get out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was sad for both parties, and I felt like there's no other way for this relationship. There's no other way for this to go. Like, Queen is in very terrible place, and the only person responsible is the only one. When I saw that she got thrown off the bridge, I was like, oh no, she's gonna go home without Shuri. Yeah. I knew immediately. I was like, no, and she's gonna have to face everybody. I was like, oh.
I mean, that's why I don't leave with with less than 5 bodyguards or something.
She was overconfident. She didn't. Nobody believed the queen and Shuri of what they saw, and the gravity of the situation that somebody got in.
Yeah.
And no one thought it was as serious. And then she goes and realizes it. It's like, we got to do something now.
Yeah.
Too late.
Yeah, and you were in charge of her. You left, and you, even if the princess forced your hand, you agreed to go alone with her.
Yeah.
Knowing that there's a threat out there trying to get her, the scientist as well.
Yeah. They didn't take it more seriously enough. They were overconfident, which I was surprised that she actually got hit. But I think that I guess made the bad guys look that much stronger, because we knew our warrior women as being the strongest. Like, they can take anyone. Didn't they, like, who is it they fought? Bucky, yes. And Falcon, yes. And when I was like, they took them,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, Bucky and Falcon were basically just trying to stall.
Yeah. So they were like up there for me. So I was a little disappointed when she was being owned a little bit. I wasn't happy, but it's like, okay, fine, they're strong guys.
Yeah. And what I really liked about Namor's people is they're all basically Black Panthers. Because they all drank the thing to give them the abilities, right?
Yeah.
They're all superhuman.
Yes.
So it's terrifying. And not only are they all superhuman, there's way more of them than Wakandans.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
And nobody knows they exist.
Oh my gosh, that's, speaking of which, I think that's going to come back to bite the Wakandans real bad, especially because of the end scene there.
Yeah.
The fact that they're putting this olive branch out to people, or at least a leader and people who are just brainwashed or convinced into being, I guess, haters of everyone else except themselves. You know, they're fearful or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I mean, isolation will do that to you.
Yeah.
And their policy stands. Like, they're not doing... Like, Wakanda, T'Challa opened up Wakanda because he saw what was happening. Killmonger opened his eyes that the world was going to either come for them or they were going to hurt the world by inaction. And that's what caused Killmonger, right? So, either Namor is going to end up with another situation like that, or he's going to break out sooner or later, causing trouble for Wakandans. But,
Yeah, I mean, he was basically like straight up, we're gonna go to war eventually, right at the end there.
it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm immortal. I'll wait a couple years.
Yeah.
A couple decades, you know.
Yeah, who cares? But also, so what do you think about Ross, the one they call colonizer? Agent
I
Ross.
thought,
yeah.
I thought he was Rust.
No,
It's
Ross.
Ross.
R-O-S-S.
Okay.
That
was funny. She was like, oh, let's go see my favorite colonizer.
Yeah.
I was like, that's hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I like him, but the man is actually stripped as a traitor. He's actually just a traitor.
He is treacherous. Treasonous, I should say.
I understand the reason for treason,
100%.
but it is like completely illegal.
And he's high up there,
Yeah.
you know? So,
I mean, he was diplomatic relations for Wakandans, basically.
yeah.
Yeah. And he's just passing on information that he shouldn't be saying to them. And not getting any back is the worst part.
Yeah.
Like, you can explain it away as like, I had to trade info for this. But he just feeding info out.
Yeah.
That's very bad.
Yeah.
And I kind of understand, I kind of got it when he was talking with the director or whatever.
Yeah.
He was like, I owe these people my life. But at the same time, I'm like,
Yeah.
but you know what? You're a real one.
For me, it was when they're sitting down in the office talking with the chairman. In that argument, it made sense where it's like appeasing these people is our chief goal because they're isolationist, but they can end us if they wanted. So me feeding them information is keeping us safe. But at the same time, he's not sharing that information with his colleagues. And we got to see more of Val, who we saw at the end of Captain Falcon. Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
where we saw she was recruited former captain.
I remember her. I was trying to like figure out what she was doing in that. Well, they were just like CIA or something, right?
She was looking very sinister while not doing much.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gave a blank card. It was like, call me or something. I completely forgot who she was. I was like, oh, she's important, but I don't know
I saw
who
the
she
streak
is.
in her hair and I'm like, that's the only reason I know you.
I couldn't remember her. I didn't remember until you mentioned this just now.
Yeah, and her entrance with Ross, she was like casually like, it's an 8-hour drive. It's like, yeah, but there's some stuff I need to apologize about in our marriage.
Yeah.
It's like,
what?
8-hour drive.
Okay.
But I guess she just did that for the beads.
Yeah.
She wanted to see if he would say something, maybe. I don't know.
No, but she bugged it before he even got to the site. So.
Well, yeah, but she knows he has it on him. So on the drive back, that's like his out. I'm telling her. But I mean, yeah, when he went to pick up those beads, I was like, those crime scenes are carefully photographed, and everything is documented immediately.
Yeah.
There is no way they didn't see that.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's kind of plot holy, but they fixed it towards the end.
Yeah.
I feel like it's crazy that he didn't think they would notice that.
Yeah. Yeah, when he picked it up and just stuffed it in his pocket, that's kind of like naive. Like, not naive, what's the word? Amateur move for someone who's so high up there in the CIA or whatever.
I guess he's never treasoned before.
Yeah, I guess so.
Amateur treasonee. But yeah, when Suri when she was taking the new synthetic heart herb.
Yeah.
When she sees Killmonger, I was like,
What?
I could not predict this.
No.
I knew for some reason I knew she wasn't gonna see her mom.
No.
Because we had the pan around for too long. If it was like slightly shorter, I'd be like, oh, her mother's gonna come.
I was
but
expecting
then it kept going. I was like,
expecting
no.
it to be like her dead or something, like seriously, like hard to see. Like it's like, oh my gosh, she comes to the ancestral world and her mother is just dead there. It's like a vision, not necessarily that she wasn't gonna see the ancestors. But then Killmonger was like, what?
Yeah, I knew Michael B. Jordan was in this movie just because when you Google Black Panther, it like lists the cast and he's there. It's like,
how are they gonna do that? Yeah.
But I did not expect him to be there. But yeah, so
he's like, sup, little cousin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Strangely endearing and
yes.
It's weird.
I love that part too. Like, what's up? Good.
I'm like, I should hate you, but for some reason that was cute.
You know, I even like considered that whole talk was just him using reverse psychology. You know, he's changed his ways in the new world. It was like, this is his job. This is his like purgatory. Like whoever comes in here with bad intentions, he's just gonna give him reverse psychology and make him figure out the ways out there.
Yeah, I was wondering when he showed up, like when we saw T'Challa going to the other side. Yes, he saw his father, but he also saw the tree full of all his ancestors, so they were all there. But with her, she went and she only saw him. So I'm wondering if it really is a thing because she came with an impure heart, and like he also went with an impure heart, and so they have like their own section or something like that. Because when she comes out and she chooses her costume, she also chooses one that looks very reminiscent of his, not T'Challa's or her father's. The golden streaks was his thing.
Yeah, sure.
And again, you guys had pointed out with the Midnight Angel uniform looking very gaudy. That's him. He's very gaudy with the stuff that he wore when he was Killmonger. So yeah, she goes down his path. Makes sense.
But then she chooses a different path.
Yes. Speaking of which, I don't know if we're going to jump there, but I wanted to just say I really enjoyed that moment. Usually, they're cringy when they do the I'm going to be good now scene. That end part where she's about to take his life and she doesn't. But I felt the difficulty in her voice and the angles they used, and like she was like forcing herself to make the right decision until it felt right. And I was very satisfied with that scene. Very satisfied. Like especially because she got a good hit from him when she did that. I roasted him. I was like, yeah. Wait, we're not supposed to kill him though. But yeah. I was very happy. I was like, wow, she's really gonna do this. Wow, she's really gonna do this.
I wasn't happy. I was like, don't kill Namor. Don't kill Namor. Please, don't kill Namor.
Please. No, I was a little dreading it because it's like if she kills him, there's no going back. There's gonna be war forever. It's gonna be bad.
Forget her. He's so cool.
I wasn't even thinking about that, but I thoroughly enjoyed how they redeemed her. I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also the whole don't let the past destroy your future, which is what everyone in both the first movie as well was dealing with Killmonger dealing with the issues of the past. So yeah, it's come full circle.
Yeah.
And her being like, I guess I'm not as noble as my brother, but I'm not as Killmongery as Killmonger either. You know.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'll just beat you into submission.
Yeah.
And she's like, yield so we don't have to go to war for, like, destroy our whole peoples. And he was like, okay, fine.
And what I really enjoyed about that as well is just because she beat him didn't mean her side won. Like
they were on. There were like a few of them left.
She got a lot of her people killed.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of them died. I forgot. I forgot to write that down. But like there was like this many left on the edge of the ship, and the rest was like they were going to lose.
Yeah.
And they were literally just waiting for Shuri to come back and do something, because that was their only hope.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just like the first movie actually, because the first movie also had everyone slowly getting surrounded. That's the last moment.
And when T'Challa comes back, M'Baku came and
with
saved
the army with
them.
Because the Rhino guy, who is now I'm guessing in jail because he actually mentioned
yeah.
Yeah, because his guys, I was actually looking for his tribe, but I guess it just got removed from all positions of power.
Yeah.
Because even the border guard is different. They're different uniforms and everything.
And the way they open the thing with like
with the water drums.
I'm like, I'm guessing what it does is it creates a frequency that opens the thing. But I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
There's so many weird,
with
trippy
beats.
ways to get in.
Yeah.
Beats by Dre.
Beats by Dre. Beats by T'Challa.
Yeah.
And yeah, we already talked about the suits. What do you think? Well, I guess we already kind of went over this, but what's his name? Namor's switch to okay, fine, I yield. I feel like when he was like seeing the visions of his mother and he says I yield, I feel like that was partially genuine.
Yeah.
Of him wanting to just like
believe in her vision
and
of
then having
a good life.
And then afterwards, he's like, he's still himself though.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, no, we're going to war someday.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gave me mixed feeling. Like I did say I liked it because of the mother there. Say take the chance while I can get it. But it is a massive leap to go from I'm going to commit world genocide to peace. So I can kind of see in that moment, there was a moment of softness to his mother because that's his one weak spot. Like he didn't change his mind. It's just the best choice is to live right now.
Yeah. I had a thought and now it's gone. About that. And that's gone.
Yeah.
Stronger together as well. Like they're both people who have been oppressed by the others. So destroying each other would play right into the hands of the enemy. So maybe he also felt that in that moment. Because we saw the CIA talking about destabilization. Which they don't know they exist, but if they do.
Yeah. I wonder how this is. They referenced what's her name, the general's husband.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if they're gonna bring him back as a character at some point.
I hope so.
Because now she is dismantled. Not dismantled. What do you call it? Like
Disembarred.
Disembarred.
She's not a lawyer anymore.
Yeah, I was very not to go back on that, but I was very sad at that moment. I was glad that they gave her a chance to still fight again.
I think she's reinstated, right?
Well, it's possible.
She was in the uniform at the end.
I don't remember.
Wasn't she?
I think so. She's the one that went to get Ross.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So she's
in the Midnight Angel thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is that what it's called?
The suits, yeah, Midnight Angel.
I hate it.
You hate the name?
I hate it so much. Not the name, just the suit.
Was she wearing the suit at the end?
Yeah, she was.
Okay. Yeah, I figured anything that the queen had done could have been undone with the daughter because she's rebellious.
Yeah. And they seem to make quick friends if you help them in a fight. Like Bucky, they called on him to help in the fight. They called on Riri to help in the fight. She's just a kid that they just picked up randomly. Yeah. You know, so they're cool with warriors.
Yeah.
They're cool with them.
Speaking of which, Ross is like not in the CIA anymore.
So
yeah, he's fired.
He's so fired.
And then that would look so bad actually.
Yeah, of course.
I mean not just for him. Like technically Wakanda had a mole in the CIA.
Oh yeah.
Not technically.
And then they rescued him from transport.
Oh yeah. So that was the big thing they didn't talk about at the end of the movie that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Like America now has a reason to just like, you guys are good guys. You sure about that?
Yeah.
Like they didn't mention it. I thought they were gonna do that in the end credits scene, but they just gave us more closure. And I was like, what? No mention of like what, like any seeding of what's gonna be upturned after this, because number one, no one knows about the Atlanteans. All that has happened, all the chaos on American soil that has happened, is all being attributed to the Wakandans, and the one person who believes them has been called a traitor, was going to be taken off to prison, and has now been kidnapped away from them. Like, there's nobody on their side anymore. Are we gonna go back to the Avengers? Like, what?
So I have a pet theory of the direction you're going because I know some things about the comics, but based on the fact that Val wanted to take offensive action after what she had heard that they had done, she wanted vibranium. She was like, I want America to have all vibranium. I'm thinking that we're gonna go the route of having the Avengers come back, but full time working under the government. So yeah, I think I talked to you a couple times about like the secret Avengers, but it's basically the concept of Avengers who work directly for the government. And I think remember we saw her talking to the agent,
that guy that
original captain.
Yeah,
replacement.
What did they call him? Something agent.
American agent.
American agent. At the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes. And did he ever get the serum?
No.
Okay. I know he was trying to.
Yes, he did.
He did get it.
He did. Yes.
Oh yeah, because he did that terrible violent scene.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's seared in my mind forever.
Yeah, I remember how people were. I was like, yeah, I get it. Everyone's so mad at me. But yeah, he's working for them now, and she has now a reason to send people into Wakanda, but it can't be overt operation because they're a stronger opponent. So I think what we're going to look at in the future is espionage, and I don't know if they know how to. Well, no, they know how to handle that because they had the girl who infiltrated many nations, right? So it's going to be like Spy Wars.
Speaking of which, what?
Yeah.
She did that.
Yeah.
How the hell?
Are you talking about the ending, or are you?
No, I'm talking about in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name.
Girlfriend.
T'Challa's girlfriend. What's her name? I don't remember. They said her name so many times. She literally, like, I know they were like, she's espionage, like, master, but what? I thought these Atlanteans had everything down lockdown.
Yeah, I
what?
thought they'd catch her halfway or something.
And how on earth? How on earth?
Her way.
Shuri just like, is that you, bestie? And just like gives away her cover. Oh my gosh, I was so upset.
Yeah. For that part, I was wondering, like, do they have no guards for this area? But I thought it was like, from the way she came in, it was different from the way Namor took him in. I think, wasn't it?
I think so.
But I think Namor took her in from the...
No. Namor, where they went, she had to wear a suit.
Yeah.
So that was like a different place.
Yeah,
all
I get
like,
that. I'm talking about to get to that original champion.
We never saw how they got in.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought I was gonna say something and I don't have it anymore.
I mean, the other big thing is the reveal of that kid.
Oh yeah, everybody in the theater
was like,
yeah, it's like no way, right?
she wouldn't bring a random kid down.
No way.
Yeah.
Like, is that her nephew? No, her child? Okay. Up to T'Challa! Named T'Challa!
Now it kind of makes sense why she
Dipped out?
Yeah,
dipped out so hard.
Yeah.
Because he disappears for 5 years first because of the snap. And she's like, I'm now a single mother. Okay. And then he dies.
Well, no, because he knew about his child, and she was like, he prepared them for his death, so he had to have come back to see them.
Yeah, of course.
He was around for like a year.
Okay. I thought you were saying like he just comes back and then dies.
If it was like a year, it still would probably feel like he just came back. And now she...
Yeah. So this kid's named T'Challa. I mean, that's the best resolution, because I felt like Shuri wasn't really showing a whole lot of good leadership qualities.
No.
And Baku showed a lot of them. Like, even in the previous movie, even though he comes across as aggressive, every time he spoke with somebody, he was very open.
Who are we talking about?
M'Baku.
Who's M'Baku?
The white gorilla, the big guy.
Oh, that's his name? I
Yeah,
didn't know his name. M'Baku, okay.
Yeah. He's always been very no, I don't know the best word to describe it. He knows what to do in situations.
Oh yeah. He's a very good leader. He's a leader of his own land.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He just didn't want to be like. I don't think he's on the council, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I was
Which
gonna
means
say
they haven't been exiled anymore.
no, because they weren't like a part of the things for.
They
a
were
long time.
pseudo exiles.
Right.
Because they just didn't want to acknowledge the leadership of the Black Panther.
Yeah, because they were all about the gorilla, not the panther.
Yeah. They worship. I think they should worship a different.
Yeah, the gorilla guy is their guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but he's always been, not him. Their tribe has always been somewhat rebellious, where they do their own thing. They don't listen to the king. But T'Challa got them to join the side.
Speaking of which, I loved that little like father-daughter moment. That even though Shuri just like brushed it off and gave her speech, I was like, M'Baku, my dude.
Yeah. He's so likable.
He's so likable, like from the beginning.
Yeah.
He jokes around like, remember, I'm gonna eat you, grind up your bones and eat you. I'm kidding.
And feed you to my children. But that carries over still.
Yeah, I love that the fact that he's like, oh, T'Challa told me to give you advice and counsel you or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like T'Challa just prepared everything for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even in the universe, he knew it was coming.
Yeah.
But he kind of kept it on the low.
Yeah.
But yeah, so M'Baku becomes king. Is what's happening here.
Yeah, because right at the end there, he's like, I challenge.
And he's not there.
And Suri's like, nah, I'm gonna go to the beach.
Yeah, go live in Haiti.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. From everything she did, I was like, she really should be the leader.
No.
And they actually acknowledged that, I guess, in the universe.
Mhm.
Or she acknowledged that in the universe,
Yeah.
which was already.
I guess she's just the Black Panther now.
She just Black Panther, out doing her thing.
And that's something you mentioned earlier, and I wanted to comment on that I was happy about. They showed her with such amazing combat ability during the fight on the ship. It's like, when did she learn that? Is it just the suit, or is it just the power of the pedal that just gives you like physical agility? Well, I thought it was just super strength.
Well,
It's a lot.
we know
It's a
that
lot.
she can fight because she has a warrior outfit that she went to fight in the last movie.
I remember she did fight, but she wasn't like an amazing fighter. I didn't think. Like they showed her even like getting a little bit of pwned in the
knockback.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the hand to hand, she was getting pieced up by Nate.
Right. That's what I appreciated. I was like, okay, good. She's
And he
not
was weak.
master yet. And he was weak.
Heavily, because he was getting cooked in the ship, then crashed on a desert beach.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is about her, she's got enhanced speed, agility, but also, like, they had this thing in the comics where, like, she sees and reacts to things faster, or the Black Panther, rather.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot that goes into it. But, yeah, you can appear as a very skilled combatant even without formal training as a Black Panther.
Okay. So she's heightened, but still,
Yeah.
she still had some trouble with that fight.
Now we have a T'Challa.
Oh, that can actually take up the actual Black
mantle.
Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's crazy young, Will.
Yeah.
He's like 5, 6 maybe.
Six.
He's
Six.
He is either 6 or 7.
Yeah, I mean, these movies take a while to come out in between, but I mean, 5 years from now, 6 years from now, he's still very young.
I mean, we did have the time skip for Ant-Man because in the new movie,
his daughter's all
his
grown up.
daughter's
Maybe
grown.
that was all just for Black Panther.
You saw the
Like,
trailer.
gotta grow everybody up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'd hope so. It's like a second chance, which in a way, I guess that's what kids are all about, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I think that's it.
All right. So then, after seeing all of that, I know that's not what you wrote, but I saw all like tiny words. And I thought I said "boring sun!" exclamation point.
Oh, burning.
Burning.
I forgot it was burning before.
She burned the funeral
She burned
grounds.
it.
Oh yeah.
I thought she meant she burnt the more.
No. She burnt the funeral gowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we can go into grades. Who wants to start? Like overall.
Overall, the movie was another great Marvel movie. It's another great Black Panther movie. You definitely have to watch it in order, as of course usually with Marvel movies, I feel like that's kind of necessary.
Yeah.
But grade wise, I think it's pretty great. I'm gonna go with A+.
A+.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Ready for nothing.
It's a threshold.
So I'm going to grade it entirely biased and nostalgic.
Okay.
It's S because it's Black Panther. Let us mourn and cry and bawl and let us end happy with a child T'Challa to move on with in our lives. Yes, it's an S.
Chad Boswick?
Oh, sorry. What is his last name?
Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman.
Not Bose. Oh no!
Bose? Isn't it
made me forget
No, no,
it.
Chadwick Boseman. There we
Okay.
go. Chad Boswick.
Chad Boswick.
That's his new name.
Yeah, I'm surprised by the high grades because I mean, it's not a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination, but I mean, if I'm thinking about this movie as seeing movies again and again, and in terms of the overall tone of having that level of grief, I feel like that's very.
You can't see it again.
I feel like it's not going to age
No.
well. Like it's something that was almost cultural for a lot of people, where the first Black Panther movie took off the way it did. And then Chadwick Boseman became like an icon for a lot of people. And then the two, with the loss of him, there's a lot of emotion that goes into this movie, right? And as time goes on, I feel like that's going to fade. And that's not a criticism of the movie. I feel like that's just how it
Humanity,
is.
yeah.
But overall, as a entertainment piece, there were some slower moments, I felt. The fight scenes were good, but I feel like they left a lot to be desired. I feel like they started very strong with the introduction of the Atlanteans, but towards the end, they could have shown off more with the underwater creatures. Like maybe we could have gotten a kraken or something. Like I just feel like there's a lot of
jellyfish.
Yeah, the phantom jellyfish.
Yeah,
I feel like we got a lot of
that up
repetition.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, like they have control over all sea creatures.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yo, the surface world would be absolutely screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But yeah, overall, I very nearly dropped it down to a C plus, but I'm gonna give it a B. Because if I'm gonna tell other people to check this movie out, I feel like unless you had an emotional connection to the first movie, which I know, even though I unapologetically love the first movie, a lot of people have issues with the first movie.
Oh, really?
So if you didn't love the first movie and you're going into the second movie and you have no emotional investment, I feel like that's really going to impact your experiences. I feel like if you take away all the emotions from this movie, it falls very hard in terms of as an entertainment piece. So yeah, I give it a B as in, yeah, it's a good action flick and you want to get invested in it. You have to care.
Yeah, I guess I can't. I recommend it if you, like you said, if you really enjoyed the first one and you love Chad.
Yeah.
Definitely you need to watch this one. But yeah, I guess if you didn't really enjoy the first one or you had other expectations for Black Panther, I suppose, yeah.
Well, yeah, I agree. 'Cause this movie is basically has to act as a bridge for
that's
whatever story is coming.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I feel like this needed to happen, and maybe the next Black Panther they could be another hard hitter.
And especially with the ending of introducing the son, also naming him T'Challa to pass on the legacy of I guess maybe the character. You could just make that kid the character growing up, something like that. That's very interesting, but I went into this movie worried because I already told you guys, like, I really admired the Black Panther from shows like... There's an animated show called Of the Avengers. There's several by this point. This wise leader who was very calm, but he understood how to deal with everybody. Like, I went into this movie being like, I wanted that, and I'm not getting it, and I'm upset.
Yeah.
But I understand why they didn't do the recast, and I accept their choice. It's just, I went into this movie with that negative feeling where I was like, man, I wish we got more T'Challa, So they really saved it with that ending with the kid. Like, it does give you a feeling of hope, which raised it for me. But again, you have to care.
You have to care. You gotta be real cold to not care that the man who was like the best Black Panther ever literally died, and we just want some time to heal, and then we'll get back to stay tuned. Just stay tuned, okay? Please don't be too cold.
But yeah, B, A plus, S. Yeah, very wide margins.
Yes.
But
I don't know if we've had it
this is the most far apart we've been.
Literally at opposite ends of the, like, you nearly went C.
C plus. I didn't.
Sure.
Yeah, but I just want to make a quick note. So the camera's cut out a couple times. I don't know how much time it was down for the time period when we were talking, so I'm just sorry about that if I have to put up the screen in case we were like in the middle of a thought process while we were speaking. But yeah, so guys, if you liked your time here, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more. We do these movie reviews semi-rarely, usually Marvel stuff or anime stuff that we are watching. So if you're interested in the anime stuff, we have the channel, of course, you can check that out. If you liked your time, remember to check Patreon out if you want to see anime stuff a whole week early or uncut stuff that we do as well. Thank you very much. I will see you in the city. Goodbye.
Bye. Oh, bye.
A special thanks to our patrons, Joel Cruz Fernandez, Her Yang, Deli, and Tyler Costin.